I got it. Alright then. Welcome back to Icarus Metalworks. We are back out of the shop to keep working on the kitchen knives. It's not the next morning like I originally thought it would be. It's actually about 2 weeks after the fact, but we're back, so let's get to it. Now, before we get started, there's one problem that has developed. So, in our forge, at the bottom of the fire pot, there's this little stainless steel grate that you build your fire on top of, so that way air can blow through it to superheat it. Well, last week, a friend and I were out here working, and some coal got underneath the grate and was superheated, and as such, it melted the grate. There's nothing there where something should be. So, the forge, while still intact, is currently unoperational. But that's okay, we don't need it for what we're doing right now. All we need right now is the Voyager. So, all I'm really doing right now is we have the big expander contact wheel back on the Voyager, so I'm going to use that today to try and steepen my bevels up a little bit on the kitchen knives, because to be perfectly honest, they aren't all that deep right now, and I'd like them to be a whole lot deeper, so we will get to that here in a second. I should wear some gloves for this first. Got my gloves. Now, we can actually get to work. That's where the water was coming from. Well, don't stop grinders with your hands, kids. It's not a good idea. That went faster than I thought. What to do? I might as well start working on the handles. Alright. I have my two handle blanks. Oh, yeah, excuse me, coffee coming back. There's currently 40, I think a 40 grit on the belt grinder side, so I'm just gonna use that for the time being to hog these roughly to shape before I do any final shaping and fitting to the blades, to the knives themselves. So, back to grinding. Much safer way to do it. I forgot. Steel belts that have been used already aren't fond of cutting through wood. So instead, I'm going to take us over to the big 53-inch belt. Never mind. One of the trucks is next to it. What am I going to do right now? Ow, sharp corner. I'll get back with you guys in just a minute after I've done some thinking. No, never mind. Anyways, so I settled on deciding to hand sand the blades for now, just the flats. I'm not going to do the whole knife, and I'm not going to do wet sanding. I'm just going to dry sand it through 220 grit. So I got some 100 grit and some 220. Yeah, 220. I stole one of my friend's swords guards that he's making to use as my bag. So, step one is putting my 2x4 in the vise. There we go, it's a fancy vise. Let's see how this feels to stand up. Oh, hand cramp. Okay. It would seem that a 40 grit finish isn't friendly to 100 grit sandpaper. What other What other abrasives do I have? Okay, we're gonna pop an 80 grit belt onto the Voyager and see how that does for us. Let's see how that does for the hand sanding. Still not being nice. Where's my WD-40 at? WD-40 gun. Yeah. Alright then, well. Sadness is the word of the day. I can't find my WD-40, meaning I can't lubricate the piece for the sandpaper to bite on better. And I'm feeling too lazy right now to break out one of the angle grinders that can get a bit of a friendlier finish onto here. So... logical thing to do then. Oh. The boards poked the chair. Gotta pull forward a little bit. That's better, I guess. The most logical thing to do right now is to call it a night. I'm feeling too lazy to break out the other grinders. It's already dark out, I'm hungry, and there's food inside. So this time, we're actually going to cut to the next morning when I get back to work on the kitchen knives. Until then...